Housekeeping next.
Housekeeping.
I've got two things on housekeeping this week, Jack.
Oh, go on. What have you been doing?
I finished watching Ozark.
Okay.
So we've watched all of the first season now. So if I remember rightly, I think in the review I was saying it was okay, but it just never like quite had like that like special element.
Yep. I remember you saying that.
That was kind of how it went throughout. I did really I loved Ruth throughout. She was great. If there was a special element, it would probably be her, to be honest. I still, even throughout, I kind of struggled with Jason Bateman in the lead role, and it's not that he isn't good, it's more the baggage that I'm bringing. I'm so familiar with him in Arrested Development that I struggled to just see him as this other character, and there was a few mannerisms that kind of, slipped, overlapped between the two characters.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, I imagine, quite confusing, because they are very different shows.
Yeah, exactly. So, when, for example, when he's he might call his son Pal or Champ or something. Yeah. That to me just feels like him talking to George Michael.
Yeah.
And he'll do a very kind of subtle wink where his whole face doesn't change, he just winks. And again, that's a very Arrested Development thing that I'm used to seeing in that show.
Yeah.
So, but I can't necessarily fault the show or Jason Bateman for that, because Jason Bateman is good. It's just my familiarity with something else affected my viewing of this show.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, because it is. I don't know, when does that not become?
Yeah, who's
something you have to rate?
Who's kind of at fault there? You know?
Is it you because you can't separate the characters, or is it
something that Jason Bateman is doing where he's not kind of defining the characters differently enough?
Yeah, or even the script writers for not thinking about that kind of thing and being like, oh, he calls him Pow in this scene.
Yeah, exactly. There was also a couple of moments where characters, it felt like they acted more in service of the plot than an actual character-driven motivation.
Yep.
It was still enjoyable. I think overall, the season, I'd probably give 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, that's above average.
Yeah, I think I'd be interested if you carried on watching it, what you think of the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then I did something as a birthday treat for you, Jack.
Oh, thanks, Liam. What was it?
That's right. It's a special. This is your birthday present from me. So regular listeners, old school listeners, cast your mind all the way back to episode 3.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Okay.
Can you remember the culture swap from episode 3?
Fuck no.
I got you. This was when we were doing 2 culture swaps an episode, and I got you to watch The Trip on Netflix.
Okay.
And you got me to watch Attack on Titan.
Holy shit, did you watch the rest of Attack on Titan?
I haven't done the rest of it yet.
Oh.
Because it's been so long, I had to go back and redo the first 6 episodes.
Got you.
I think I'm now up to something like episode 10.
Okay, that's impressive.
I'm going to stick with it and get through it. But Kat doesn't like me watching it when she's in the room, because she just thinks it's a load of yelling in Japanese. And obviously, that's annoying to her when you're not reading the subtitles.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. So I have to pick when I watch it. Here's the thing, because I listened back to my initial review for it, right?
Yep.
And I really hated Evan when I first watched it, who's the main
I remember
character.
you hating him.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I knew his fate that was coming, but I found him less annoying in the earlier episodes this time.
Yep.
Then, so I'm going to do spoilers for the first 6 episodes because we've done a culture swap on it, but I won't spoil after that. Right. So in episode 5, I believe it is, he gets eaten by a Titan, right?
Yep.
And I remember, because when I listened back, I was saying, I was curious what happened next. What are they going to do now? Because the focus seemed to shift to this other character, Mikasa, who was a lot more interesting.
Yep.
And the other guy, I can't remember his name, that he was described as a daffodil.
Yeah, shit, I can't remember his name either.
But I liked him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, listening back, I was like, okay. At the time, I wanted to watch the next couple, and then I didn't. The next couple are good. I liked them. The issue is that the last episode I watched, which I believe was episode 10, it resolves that big cliffhanger thing of what happened to Evan.
Yeah.
I didn't like the resolution of that, Jack.
Keep going, because it gets better.
Yeah, so the next episode does sound intriguing, right? Where they talk about... they kind of talk a little bit more... There's a little, summary of what the episode's about, and it's all about essentially what you find out, how that affects the character.
Yeah.
So I am curious what they're going to do. But yeah, so that's my birthday treat to you, is I'm watching more Attack on Titan.
You're actually watching the rest of Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Because you
Thanks, buddy.
Strongly recommended that I do that.
Yeah, because I felt that the first 6 episodes, I enjoy them, but I feel like the rest of the series is better than that.
Listen, I definitely enjoyed them more watching them again, but I still, like, wasn't in love with it or anything.
Yeah.
And I still feel like Mikasa is a stronger character to be following than Evan.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I couldn't really wrap that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult one to wrap.
Yeah.
I guess you could have sent me a card with your thoughts in it on the other episodes, but that would have been weird.
Yeah, no, we'll just, there'll be more housekeeping where I watch more, because I don't think I'm going to, like, whiz through it speedily, but I'll kind of keep you posted with my thoughts.
Okay.
We got some tweets.
Who's tweeted us, Liam?
So Amanda tweeted us, to be honest.
Just very, very quickly, Liam.
Yeah.
I don't want to be embarrassed, so I'm just going to assume that all of the listeners have tweeted me happy birthday, and just, you don't have to read them out on the show, it's fine. I know that they've all tweeted it, so you can just go past them.
Cool, I'll do that.
Thanks.
And done. So, Amanda tweeted us. No, this was actually before our last episode, but I forgot to read it.
Okay.
She said, I want to hear what Jack thinks about Liam's new project with Kat, and how long until Jack starts a spin-off podcast.
I hate that you're doing a new podcast about me.
Okay.
I'm going to immediately start 3 spin-off podcasts to compete with you.
Okay.
One of them's going to be called Not Growing Up.
Brilliant, I like that.
One of them will be called Don't Grow Up.
Yeah.
And one of them will be called Won't Get Any Younger.
I love it. The funny thing is, you are working on a spin-off podcast, but it also features me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That doesn't really count, because we're doing a spin-off podcast with both of us on it.
Yeah, we need to start working more on that.
What we should do is we should reverse the name of this podcast, and then people will be like, oh, okay, it's a spin-off of Nerd on Nerd, so we'll call it Nerd on Nerd.
Kat tweeted us, co-host on the Won't Grow Up podcast.
Oh, yeah.
She was a guest on this, and also my girlfriend. I think those are the right... That's the right order of priority.
I just know her as a guest on our show.
She said, just listen to the podcast, and I can confirm Liam is in fact weird, in case there was any doubt there. I hadn't read this tweet before reading it out. I don't really know what she's talking about.
I mean, there was a lot of weird stuff last episode.
Okay, and she said, and Jack's view on catch up with roast dinner is wrong.
Kat doesn't know.
And then she said, traffic lights are not arrogant, and Liam is ludicrous, which is bullshit.
I mean, that's true. That bit is true.
And then she said, I might enjoy the rest of the Bill Hodges trilogy, but I tend to be less of a fan of Stephen King's supernatural stuff.
Book 2 doesn't do it that much. Book 2's very similar to Book 1.
And then she followed it up saying, especially when the rest of the story is clearly another genre like crime/thriller, then it introduces supernatural stuff later.
Yeah, so she might not like Book 3 that much.
And then she said, I am enjoying Jack's more critical reviews of books.
Fair enough.
So that's good. Amanda said Jack should definitely see The Big Sick in the cinema if he hasn't already.
Did do.
You didn't do a review of it on the show, though?
Did I not?
No, I don't believe you did.
It was a beautiful film. I loved it.
Very good. And then she said, what's the term for a Nerd on Nerd fan who enjoys both Jack and Liam equally, not a Liamette or Jack off?
It's a Liam off at that point.
Okay, cool. And then she said, I totally agree with Liam about the annoying trope of the wife/girlfriend being a nag and an obstacle for the male lead to overcome, which is one of the issues I had with Ozark.
Yep, I remember.
And she said, there are so many other obstacles in life. I get so tired of women being portrayed as the nagging spouse when usually in real life they're supportive.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, okay. So you responded to Amanda's tweet about The Big Sick, saying he has It's Awesome. That was by Jack Kempster.
I remember that.
And then Amanda said, yay, looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the next episode.
Okay, it's a really good film. I cried like a baby.
Did you?
I think I did. I cried a little bit.
At what bit? Like, without spoiling anything, if you can.
The ending.
Okay, yeah.
Like the not the end, but before the end, when good stuff should happen and it doesn't.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Any other tweets?
No, so it was just Amanda saying, I forgot to ask which bit of Liam's anger led to the title of this episode.
Yeah, so there was confusion. That's my bad, listeners.
Yeah.
It was the 10-minute long rant about why Princess Mononoke was the worst thing I've ever done to Liam.
Which, to be fair, I did ask you to cut.
Yeah, but it was too funny.
Yeah, Amanda also is livid at you.
Go on.
She said, by the way, this is forcing me into a hard choice. I've never seen Mononoke, and we're saving to do an episode on it, but I never miss your episodes.
Oh, sorry, Amanda.
So I responded saying, this is all Jack's fault. I'm sorry, Amanda.
Did she reply to that?
Nah.
Fair
She's livid at you as well, I think.
I'm sorry, Amanda.
I mean, it's going to take more than
I hope
that.
you enjoyed Princess Mononoke if you watched it.
Well, yeah, that was it for our correspondence.
Fair enough.